welcome to Thomas and Jack Do Movies. Now, most of the videos we filmed today have not been very conventional videos. They've been rankings to weird stuff, or reactions to weird stuff, or just general kind of weird videos. But today we're going to be filming something more conventional that you've probably seen other YouTubers put out recently. What are we going to be filming here today?
We're going to be ranking the 7 comic book movies that were released this year of 2019. We haven't done this for a whole year. We did it last year in 2018, I think.
That's how this kind of ranking works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every year.
We are okay. Before we get started, we are aware that Alita Battle Angel is like from like an anime comic book.
Technically, is a comic book,
but we didn't include it because, well, would it be like, I don't know, but we didn't include it just because it's not like, when you think of comic book movie, you're not thinking of Alita Battle Angel.
Right.
You're thinking like weird sci-fi stuff.
Now, we did because we're genius movie buffs, but the common folk.
The common folk.
Not to insult your intelligence. I'm sure you all are very intelligent. It's just...
Unlike us. Oh, we can't say that on YouTube now. Okay. So
if you wanted to know, it'd probably be in the middle somewhere.
Yeah. So we're going to do this by 2 lists. I have a list, he has a list. We're 2 different people. We don't share the same opinion on stuff. In fact, most of the time we have opposite opinions.
We hate each other.
Yeah, what? We do? No, whatever. Okay. Starting out at the bottom for me is Dark Phoenix. X-Men Dark Phoenix. This movie, I don't think it was... Yeah, it was bad. All right, go ahead. Oh, and I only have 6 because I didn't see Hellboy.
Number 7 for me is Hellboy. I just watched like the first 10 minutes on an airplane. It wasn't very good. Like, it was just something about it was just off. The effects weren't very good. Nothing about it was really that good. So it was all just kind of mediocre stuff. That's 7. That's the last place for me.
You just go ahead and do Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, 6 is Dark Phoenix for me. Again, I watched the first 10 minutes. I was pretty bored out of my mind. I thought it was kind of dumb, and I just... Yeah. So I skipped to the end, watched the last battle scene. Alright,
so next up for me is 5, and that is, it's Captain Marvel! Oh, I hated this movie. No, I didn't hate the movie. I think it had some good aspects to it, but overall, I really don't like Brie Larson, and I don't like looking at her face, because I think she's a jerk, because she is a jerk. And having to endure a whole movie looking at Brie Larson's face, of course I was pretty tired when I saw it, but... At that same time, I literally fell asleep during the movie because I was so bored. So yeah, that Captain Marvel is number 5 for me.
I was pretty excited for Captain Marvel just because it was Captain Marvel. Just because it's a Marvel movie leading up to Endgame. But that's my number 5 as well, Captain Marvel. Didn't think it was a terrible movie, but it was just, I don't know, it wasn't great.
No.
So,
all right, my next one is, now this may be a controversial opinion, but I have lots of those. This is Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay, I'm going to explain myself. Spider-Man Far From Home was not a bad movie. It wasn't a good movie. It was a great movie. In fact, all the movies from this up are great movies. In fact, some of them I would even say they're phenomenal. And it didn't have quite everything I wanted in like this kind of Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland. It was good. It wasn't like something that made me excited. Homecoming at the end, it got me excited for what's next. Like when he says, what is he? There's rumors going around the prison, you know who Spider-Man is, and the dude's like, no, if I knew who he was, he'd be dead. Like, that got me excited for what's coming next. Far From Home didn't. And I think part of that is also due to the fact that it was after Endgame, and I really don't care much for Marvel after Endgame. I've had my satisfying ending, and that's... even the Disney Plus TV shows, I'm not that excited for them. I mean, it kind of was held back by those things, and it wasn't really that's the movie itself. It's just being held back by everything around the movie. So, yeah.
Including the fact that they withdrew him from Disney.
Exactly.
And which really got my excitement level down for Marvel in general. Because now they're pulling him out, but now they're putting him back in for another movie. But anyway, so my number 4 is Shazam, just because I think Spider-Man's a little better, but... They're really their first, like, actually good DC movie. Like
Actually great. Because Aquaman
actually
was good.
great.
Aquaman
was decent just because it was exciting. It was entertaining. I guess
it was entertaining.
Shazam actually had a decent story.
Good story. And the comedy on Shazam was on point. We actually have a good review for Shazam.
Yeah, go watch it.
It's one of our more entertaining videos.
But for sure, that's my number 4.
Yeah. My number 3 is Shazam. I'm with him. Everything about Shazam that he thinks is good, I think is good. I just think that it's better than Far From Home. It was good. The comedy was great. In fact, I probably laughed more in Shazam than I did in Far From Home.
Probably.
And the action was all really good. The effects were better than I thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The effects were really good. And the campy suit fit the movie. So I really do think that Shazam is probably my better than Far From Home and the third best comic book movie of 2018.
So number 2 for me, I put Joker.
No, number 3. Oh, you did do Home. Far From Home.
I hesitate when I say that because when I think of Joker, I think of
masterpiece.
A masterpiece, a really, really professionally made movie. Think about it. I think of good story, good, like freaking amazing actor.
Yeah.
You know, I just think of everything there is good about a movie, and when I think about Joker,
yeah,
because it is a fabulous piece of cinematography.
Just cinema.
Yeah, cinema. But I did put it second. Just because I feel like the next one's just...
Everyone knows who the next one is. But
just because Endgame, it doesn't pack that emotional punch that Endgame punches me in the face with, you know? Like, yeah, I'll let you go next.
Right.
But
so my number 2, and I actually had to think about this hard too, because both of these movies are so good in their own respects. But my number 2 is the Avengers Endgame. But I kind of want to add the fact that one thing that Endgame did for me is it ruined one of probably my favorite character, and that's Thor. I didn't like what they did with Thor. There's two sides of exactly. There's two sides of what they did with Thor, and it's really divided down the middle. There's people who didn't like it. There's people who did. I really didn't like it that much. I felt like they made him just a fat loser. They did it just for laughs. I felt like if they were doing it for like a serious arc and they weren't just doing it for laughs, I may lean toward more the I like it side. But I just don't think they did. They just did it for laughs and tried to make it have sense with the arc. I don't know. I just didn't like it that much.
I understand how it is really split in the middle, but I did, and I didn't mind that. I actually liked it. So,
Avengers Endgame was the closer to one of the greatest franchises of all time. No matter what you think about Marvel, what they're turning into, what they're doing, it was and still will be, those first 23 movies, the greatest franchise of all time.
Which gets me into my number 1, which of course is Avengers Endgame. And like I was saying, it's just, I put it ahead of Joker, even though it's not a technically better movie than Joker, just because of the characters that I've grown up with since I was 4 or 5. You know, since I first saw Iron Man. From his last line in that movie to his last line, one of his last lines when he was alive. I guess his last line when he was alive.
His second to last line. Because he has the line.
One of his last lines in Endgame, it's just like the way they tied it up, the way they just made it so emotional. Like, it did have an overusage of CGI. You know, it wasn't a super professionally well made movie like Joker is. Not saying it's not professionally made. Yeah. It's just not as like. Okay,
so this is gonna sound very, I guess, cynical, but it's kind of the terms I use. It's not as artsy fartsy as.
That's right. It really isn't. Like, it doesn't have those special camera angle shots that, like, when Joker's in the bathroom dancing, and it's like the shots just are like, whoa. You know, it doesn't have any of that. It's really character driven by these superheroes.
It has to be
completely unrealistic, yet you're just so. Yeah. I just love it, and it's so emotionally intense for me and entertaining.
Yeah,
the rewatch factor and the emotional factor really get it number 1 for me.
Now, number 1 for me is, of course, Joker. It may also help that I saw Joker in IMAX in a super great theater. Nobody talked. I don't think anybody even like sneezed. It was a beautiful theater experience. But that's also the fact that what Jack said, it's a beautiful movie. It looks good. The acting is amazing.
Yeah.
Its social commentary is really Joker is just it's and he admits, which is he's right, that Joker is the better movie
In a technical
in
sense.
a technical
Yeah.
sense. And when I go to watch a movie, I'm going to watch that technical sense and just going to watch a movie that's written well, acted
Yeah.
well, directed well. Every time I say directed well, it catches me. Cinematography is beautiful. Everything, even costumes are amazing. Not only Joker, but everybody else in the movie. It's just so good. It's first for me.
And see, that's where when you say you go to see a movie for that. When I went to see Endgame, I wasn't going to see it for that amazing cinema. I was going to see it to see the end of this saga.
The end game.
And that's what I got. But if I were ranking it based on what I think is a technically better movie, the ranking would be a little different, and Joker would be on top. But personally, favorite is Endgame.
So that was our comic book ranking of 2018.
That's right.
It's been an interesting year for comic book movies, that's for sure. We've had some unexpected thrills and some, what do we say that? Unexpected, really bad movies.
That's exactly how you say that. It even rhymes.
It is, yeah, it does.
No.
Oh. But, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing. We do rankings like this, we do reactions, and we do movie reviews. And, we hope you enjoy. We hope you like our videos. Not like them on YouTube, but like them in the sense
I hope
that
you
like
just
them.
enjoy watching a couple doofuses sit in a chair and nerd out about movies for 10 minutes. If you like that, you're going to like this video.
Heck yeah.
Even though this is the end, so hopefully you've watched it.
All right.
Anyway, let's peace these guys out. So, peace out.
By the way, guys, I said a lot of negative things about Endgame, but don't get me wrong. I love this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally is one of the...
All right, I'm rolling. You rolling? All right.
Both rolling.
Both rolling, boys.
There's a kid at school named Roland. And he's
Roland?
my coach's son. Roland.
Does he have Coach's son privileges?
He does not.
Well, what I mean by privileges is, does the coach make him do more work because he's his son?
Yes, he does have coaches.
Yep.
Privileges.
He has coach's privileges. Yep.
I'm wearing this
Yeah, whatever.
shirt.
I'm wearing my shirt's probably all dirty because it's
Amazing.
white.
Though. It's American.
Beautiful. Oh, if
We
that
have-
keeps happening during the video,
We haven't even started our intro yet, really.
turn it this way so you can't see my notes.
Fine. Be that way.
Yeah, I will.
I don't care if you see mine. I've already written it down. And I'm at 17%.
All right.